I'd like to share transparently my own background with negotiation throughout my career, not only to show that the tactics and principles that I'll talk about were used to great success in my own journey, but also for the people who I have shared these numbers with, they are often shocked at how much improvement you can see if you have leverage. I want you to walk into negotiation feeling like you're Mario with the invincibility star and you're on top of the world. You have control over your destiny and what you're looking for. And so I've been lucky to have a lot of leverage in my career. I was able to manufacture leverage, and I want to show you the impact of that. So I started my career in 2014. I was a new grad at a startup. I was making $110,000. Not bad. But in 2021, my peak earning year when I was a manager and tech lead at Meta, I was making $830,000. That's an increase of more than 7 times throughout that period. And I am confident you can do the same. I am not some genius programmer. You can do exactly what I did or more. And that's my hope for you. Okay, so I came into Stanford in 2009. In 2022, I left Facebook to start Taro. And I'm going to call out the major milestones where negotiation had a big impact on me. The first, in 2010, I actually was able to luckily negotiate a summer internship, a software internship. I won't talk too much about it, but it goes to show that you are able to negotiate things that you might not expect, like an internship. In 2013, as I was graduating, that was when I was able to collect a bunch of offers. And for the first time, I felt like I had a lot of power. I got 5 offers, and I'll show you the impact of being able to negotiate in that year as a new grad. 2014, I joined a startup which got acquired by Pinterest. In 2017, I decided to leave Pinterest, and I did a very thorough search for companies that I really was interested in, and I thought I could have them compete against each other to really increase my compensation. So I got 6 offers, and I had a lot of success with negotiation. So I'm going to dive deeper into 2017 first, and then go back to 2013. Here are the 6 companies I got offers from, and you can see the base salary ranges from $140,000 to $180,000. The equity went from $300K to $1 million over 4 years, the standard vesting schedule. And then signing bonus. Most companies had a signing bonus, and then annual bonus. I'd never negotiated on the annual bonus, but I just wanted to show that for completeness because that is how I computed my total comp. It went from $256,000 to almost $550,000 at Snapchat. And if you had told me, even at the beginning of my whole job search process, with someone who had about 3.5 years of experience at that point, if you had told me that my comp could have reached almost $600K, I would not have believed you. But that was the power of being in a position of strength and having leverage, having competing offers, and I'll show you the tactics throughout this course. So one thing that's, just to prove my point, I want to show you which of these numbers that I am presenting here, which of these actually got adjusted up from negotiating, from me having the ability or the courage even to say, hey, what can you do? Can you increase that number? On the salary, both Stripe and Snapchat increased their base salary. On equity, almost every company increased the equity component significantly based off of what I told them what I value. Signing bonus, both Facebook and Snapchat increased their equity because I told them as a final round negotiation tactic, please increase that, and it actually worked extremely well. So diving deeper into the 2 most competitive companies, Snapchat, the salary went from 160 to 180. Equity did a substantial increase from 600 to $1 million. And the bonus also was a pretty huge increase, literally a 10x increase from 10K to 100K. And then for Facebook, it went from 325K to 600K for the stock grant. And then the signing bonus also went up a decent amount. So again, I think that these numbers to me were surprising. And I think to people who I've talked to, they're also quite shocking. In particular, the equity and signing bonus for Snapchat and the equity for Facebook were substantially higher than what my peers got, even though I was not that much smarter. I didn't do that much better on the coding interview. It was simply because I sequenced and timed my negotiation appropriately. And that is the first big takeaway of this whole course. This is a proof that negotiation is extremely high leverage. And it's important to realize that you can manufacture it. Even if you're talking to companies that have thousands of employees and a whole infrastructure around recruiting, you still have power. You can control your destiny. You can come in with a lot of sway in these conversations. Let's also talk about 2013 when I got 5 offers. I actually made a YouTube video about this. I'll leave a link for that in the description. Twitter, I got lucky with the timing here. Twitter went public in 2013 November, and that was right around the time when I was getting all these offers. And so when I was able to use that as leverage, Google had the signing bonus go from 50K, it went down to 40K. The stock grant went from 250K to 424K, which was substantially higher than any of my classmates at Stanford who got an offer at Google. Almost 3x more, which is a huge, huge increase. For Facebook, I was able to increase the signing bonus from 75K to 125K, and then Square and Microsoft were not competitive. There are 2 things to call out here. One is that the signing bonus component of the Google offer actually went down. That's a really interesting takeaway or something to observe, which is that when you think about your offer in tech, there are multiple components. And if you tell the recruiter or the company that you care deeply about one and you're willing to trade off on the other, that could be a really fair exchange if the company thinks it's a good fit for them as well. And that's what happened with Google. And the other takeaway is that I got a bunch of offers. 2 of the offers I got, Square and Microsoft, were not actually beneficial to me in terms of negotiation. And that's okay. It's still valuable to go through the interview process, talk to companies. And at the end of the day, there's a lot that goes into picking a job, which is not just the TC number that you get. It's about learning, technology, people. For sure, compensation is important. And why would you not try and optimize that? But you want to think about holistically, what are you trying to achieve in your career? Okay, so that was my own background in tech and negotiation. I've also had the privilege of being able to talk to many, many engineers at Meta, DoorDash, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Intuit, and a bunch more, including that last logo is actually the logo on LinkedIn for a stealth startup. So even if you're working at a small company or a big multi-billion-dollar company, the tactics that we'll talk about are going to apply to you. At least a portion of the tactics will apply to you, and they can be used to great effect to significantly increase your quality of life and the compensation that you earn. And finally, I also had the ability to talk to a bunch of recruiters to understand not just the employee or engineer perspective, but I wanted to see how does the company or recruiter think about people who are negotiating, candidates who are negotiating. And so I've included 2 case studies in particular, a recruiter who used to work at Meta and then one who worked at Amazon. And so that's a really interesting perspective change that will educate how you also might approach negotiations.